You put 'em on to look cool, or hide from the sun, or the paparazzi. But sunglasses? They began as a symbol of justice and secrecy. The earliest sunglasses weren't even glass. In 12th century China, judges wore smoked quartz lenses, not to block sunlight, but to hide their expressions in court. Before that, in prehistoric Inuit culture, slit goggles made of bone cut the sun's glare off snow. Ancient Romans used emerald lenses to watch gladiator fights. Fashion came centuries later. By the 1920s, pilots needed glare protection. Enter Sam Foster. He mass-produced affordable shades. Then came Hollywood. Movie stars wore them to avoid eye contact, and fans. Sunglasses became mystery, rebellion, fame. By the 1980s, icons. Think Top Gun, Mafia Dons, music videos. Sunglasses said, "Don't look at me," but also, "Look at me." Now, sunglasses block UV rays, reduce wrinkles, and sell entire personalities. There's a reason spies, rock stars, and celebrities all reach for the same thing: a tinted lens. Know another invention that went from survival gear to fashion power move? Let us know in the comments. Earmuffs might seem like a winter fashion afterthought. Cute, fuzzy, quirky. But their invention? It started with a kid who just wanted to go ice skating without freezing his ears off. His name was Chester Greenwood. He was 15. It was the late 1800s in Maine, cold enough to make your thoughts shiver. He bent some wire into loops, asked his grandma to sew beaver fur onto them, and strapped them over his head. Boom! The first modern earmuffs. He called them ear protectors. Everyone else just called them weird. But by 19, he had a patent. By 25, he had a factory. And then came war. During World War I, soldiers needed gear to survive harsh conditions. Greenwood's earmuffs scaled up fast. But it wasn't just about cold anymore. Factory workers started wearing them to block out noise. Suddenly, earmuffs weren't just winter gear, they were workplace armor. Today, they've split into two species: cold-blocking fluffballs in fashion magazines, and sleek, industrial ear defenders in construction zones, DJ booths, and shooting ranges. All thanks to one frozen teenager, and a very handy grandma. Before paper cups, you didn't get your own. You shared a tin dipper, a communal ladle. Same cup, different mouths. Welcome to the 1800s, where a drink of water could kill you. Tuberculosis, cholera, and other diseases spread fast, and one of the culprits? The public cup. Then came the train stations. Thousands of passengers, one shared drinking vessel. In 1907, public health officials had had enough. Enter Lawrence Llewellyn. He was a Boston lawyer. Not an inventor, but he saw the problem. So, he created a machine that dispensed single-use paper cups, originally called the health cup. It was simple, safe, disposable, but it wasn't until it got a new name that it exploded. The Dixie Cup. World War I boosted its use. Schools followed, hospitals, then fast food. By the 1950s, paper cups were everywhere: milk, soda, coffee, water coolers. Hygiene met convenience, and the world never looked back. Today, they're in your office, your hotel room, your kid's birthday party. And yes, they've sparked modern debates about waste and recycling. But the original mission? Save lives, one sip at a time. Let's be honest. They're awkward. They're funny. They squeak in movies. But condoms? They've been protecting more than just reputations for over 500 years. The oldest surviving condom is from 1640, made of animal intestines. Found in a castle toilet. Royal affair, literally. But people were using primitive versions long before that. Ancient Egyptians wrapped linen around their private parts, sometimes dyed different colors, maybe for ritual, maybe for flair. In China and Japan, oiled silk and tortoiseshell sheaths. Not exactly one size fits all. The real game changer? The disease. Syphilis tore through Europe in the 1500s like wildfire. Suddenly, condoms weren't about birth control. They were about survival. But they weren't cheap, or accessible, or trustworthy. Most were handmade, rinsed, and reused. Until the 1800s, and Charles Goodyear. He didn't invent the condom, but his discovery of rubber vulcanization made them stretchy, sealed, and finally, scalable. Then came latex in the 1920s. A miracle, thin, reliable, cheap. And during World War II, governments handed them out by the millions. Soldiers got slogans like, "Don't forget, put it on before you put it in." Today, they're in vending machines, high school health kits, and every awkward sitcom. They've helped prevent countless diseases, unwanted pregnancies, and in some cases, some pretty regrettable one-night stands. Still funny, still awkward, still one of the most powerful little inventions ever made. You're standing in the rain. Soaked, no cover, but the one thing that could have saved you? It was once mocked, banned, and nearly lost to time. In 18th century London, if you used an umbrella, people jeered. Carriage drivers pelted you with trash. Why? Because umbrellas were for women, or worse, French. The umbrella is ancient, over 3,000 years old. In Egypt, China, India, parasols shaded royalty. Sun, not rain. Power, not practicality. But around 1000 BCE in China, waxed paper umbrellas changed everything. Waterproof, foldable. The idea drifted to Europe, but stayed a women's thing. Until one man, Jonas Hanway. He walked through the rain. Alone, with a black silk umbrella. For years, they called him names, but he didn't care. Slowly, the stigma flipped. By the 1800s, men were buying umbrellas. By the 1900s, they were everywhere. And now, umbrellas are in cocktails, added in the 50s as flirty flair. They're in protests, Hong Kong's 2014 umbrella movement. They're in every car, every pocket, every spy movie. So next time it rains, remember, staying dry used to be controversial. Know another invention that started as a joke? Drop it in the comments.